you want to join armies in TvZ, you move this main group back to your net. I first put those STVs around the barracks. Now I will build the barracks. I dropped marines and vultures to his main, and the outcome will be pretty funny actually. Basically, as long as this mine lives, I know that he's not attacking me. Tom did pretty cool play there, where he got my vessels. Hello! Today we are gonna cover one of my games from SCUL. I mean 2 games actually, because this is gonna be a series. So I decided to cover the games from the SCUL or SCUL, how people call it. This is actually, I described what it is in my previous video about STU. And in this game in particular, I'm gonna play a build which I'm gonna make a guide about pretty soon, but I'm gathering replays for now. But this is actually my favorite way of playing TvZ nowadays, to be fair. And this is also like a little bit of sneak peek, but I'm planning to do F2S series at some point, and this is gonna be exactly what I'm gonna use versus Zerg. So as you can see, I went 2 racks from main. And this is actually very old school build. So this is, I don't know when exactly was this played, but I think around something like 2005 maybe, something like that. So the way TvZ was developing was that first people were playing like, of course, one base, then they were making their CC faster and faster, right? So like, let's say first they were taking 2 vessels and then making CC, then they were like going for tanks and then for CC, then there was like this 2 racks academy from main and then CC. Actually, this build can be seen in many VODs from like 2002, for example, of pro games. And then people were going for like 2 racks expansion, and this is exactly what I'm gonna do in this game. And then like nowadays modern way of playing is to go for 1 rack CC. But anyway, this version I like very much because I think it's actually very comfortable to play versus 2 hatch, which is the meta right now, and also it's very strong versus 9 pool, which many lower rankers actually complain about. And this is very good versus it. Very good counter to 9 pool. So the point is that you have 2 Raxes, and you can pressure. Zerg actually scouted me. By the way, I saw the drone, so I was going up because I wanted to scout the Zerg at the same time if he was scouting me, but I saw his drone, so I kind of knew he's bottom right. The reasoning behind that you can check in my other video. It's called 16 Scout in TvZ. This is where the logic comes from. So I won't explain it in this video. Anyway, the purpose of this build is that you can expand at... I'm not gonna go super detailed because this is gonna be part of the guide, but the point is that you can expand at like any timing after these 2 racks. So you can make however many marines you need, and then you can go CC and then play completely normal game after. So this build is less rich than 1 rack's CC, of course, but it has a lot more marines available, which is pretty good, and you will see this in this game actually. So first of all, Zergs don't really know what it is nowadays because this is so unpopular. Nobody plays this. Literally nobody plays this. I didn't see this being played forever at this point. So this is a very good weapon if you want to surprise someone. On top of that, I am building SCVs non-stop. This is like a 2-gate version for Terran, kind of, where you build your workers all the time, but Zerg has to go for links and Sunken behind that as well. And very often they will also think you are playing 1 base, because who plays 2 racks expand? Kind of doesn't make sense. But actually it has a lot of sense, but people just don't know about it. So as you can see, I forced a lot of links, drone pool, Sunken now, and I will just cancel this bunker now when I traded a little bit. Those trades are all good for me because I'm trading marines for links, but every link made is a drone potentially, right? But I'm keep making my SCVs. So I decided to just go CC from there. And I can keep making my marines. Actually, it's good to keep making marines right now because I either have to have STV in front of his base to see whether links are coming, or I have to keep producing marines, right? Because I can potentially die to maslings. Yeah, so this is yeah, but that's why I'm positioning my marines also on the ramp. So if the links ever come, they will be defended in this way. I made a little bit of an error here because it was better to go depot first then gas, but actually you need a lot of gas from this point, so it's not bad to make it. It's similar situation for like Protoss versus Terra when they go 12 next, and they also need a lot of gas. They would like to have more than they have, even though they build it ASAP. So yeah, in this build, because when the academy finishes, you need 50 for 2 medics, 100 for steam, and 100 for 2 comsats. So you need 250 gas when the academy finishes. And also it would be ideal to make +1 in the eBay, and also factory can be started pretty quickly as well with this build. So by the way, did I mention who I'm playing against? I don't even know, but this is Tom, this is Zerg from Poland. He's about 1900. If I didn't mention, then sorry, I did it now. You have to be careful about links like that because he might be biting. So never move all your marines from the ramp, only move some to kill this link. Also notice how I did this trick there where I moved away my marines. I moved those forward, so now this link that is coming won't see those. Those marines will kill this link, so he doesn't know my marine count. So, it's always good to hide information from your opponent. It might not affect the game at all, but it as well might affect the game in some way. And now I can move out, pretty much, but I need first to see what's up. By the way, notice the timing, right? It's 6-0, so normally Tuchach Mutas would be already flying to my base, but because of the opening, I knew this was chaotic, he had to make some sacrifices, so I knew that Mutas are gonna be a little bit delayed. So I didn't need turrets yet, but now I need them, right? And also, I'm not like 100% confident that the Mutas won't be on time, but I'm pretty sure about that. But still, I want to be like, pretending I'm moving out, so he maybe won't go straight to my base, etc. I went also third racks, which is pretty good. Most of the times I recommend doing that, to go 3 racks before the fact. I think this is the most comfortable way of playing. And now my army is actually pretty good. The one weakness of this strategy, which is actually pretty big weakness, you have to kind of play around it, is that your range is pretty late, right? Because my range is not done yet, but his mute account is already threatening. So he can already trade from my marines. And yeah, and I don't have range, so that's not ideal. But my marine count is pretty good. Yeah, and now we are trading here a little bit. Basically, that's very good for me because I'm keeping his mutas out of my base, which is exactly my point. By the way, notice how on the minimap I send my SCV to the most obvious third expo location, but it's not there, so I'll move to another location. Here it's always good to do this maneuver, so look, where my marines were positioned right here, right? And now I want to join my armies, so I moved back my marines as well. You see, I didn't just move those marines to the group that is standing on the middle of the map. Because look, Tom knew that I will reinforce, right? So he tried to interrupt this. And because I had those marines and medics kind of close, I could save the situation, because otherwise I would lose all those marines on the left. I still lost some, but not every marine. So it is very good maneuver. If you want to join armies in TvZ, you move this main group back to your NAT, and then you join like that, and then you move together. Also in this build, normally, nowadays, you don't make your second gas so quickly, but with this build, you usually make your gas with second when you start the factory, because your gas count is actually not great. And I'm looking for the expos, right? Because I'm interested in killing third right now. I doubt I can bust him. I can bust him, but only if his mutas are not there. So it's still good to stay here because if he would like to go and harass me right now, he has to make more Sunkens, which is obviously very good. Now I scanned his main and I know that there is no tech. I scanned it not previously, so at this point I knew he's kind of all in on mutas, or at least very delayed in tech, extremely delayed, so I already know that I have this game pretty much because my tech is superior, so much superior. Like I already making port, he didn't start anything. Yeah, and this is probably because he thought at the beginning that this is some kind of all-in build or one-base build and didn't adapt properly. So now you see the mutas are here right now, but already my marine count is huge again. I'm making from hotkeys, by the way, not this time, but in general I do. And now I'll just attack his natural. And scan, make sure that there is... Like, I could even bust 4 Sunkens here, because I have 4 medics, but there are only 3, so I just go. And even if I don't kill everything here, or like anything meaningful, I only kill 1 Sunken, I force his mutas to come back. And now I know that he will hound those marines, right? Because my marines are wounded from the fight with Sunken, so now I know I need to group my forces ASAP. So notice how I don't need to pull my marines all the way back, like in previous example, because now I know he will hound those marines, right? So I need to deliver ASAP those reinforcements, because this is gonna die too soon, very soon, if I'm not adding more marines to this ball. Yeah, and he thought he already have this, but right on time, more marines approached. Yeah, I forgot to make add-ons to the port there, by the way. Yeah, but my money is going high, so I put those STVs near to my barracks. I explained this technique also in another video, where I first put those STVs around the barracks, and now I will build the barracks when those STVs are already there, because this is taking much less time. Now I found his expansion as well. So I didn't move all my forces here. I just sent like those 3 marines to deal with this expansion, while everything else is going to his net. Because again, I want to force him to make more Sunkens, because I know he has no tech. So his only way of defending those marines are Sunkens and mutas. And my medic count is huge, by the way. I overmade them, but this is actually good, because if you have so many medics, the mutas are completely worthless versus marines. I also got second eBay on the way, but yeah, at this point it's over, because I just made so many marines out of it that he couldn't handle it eventually. And that's GG. So we can also look at the let's look at the replay. How did it look like from his perspective? Okay, so let's move forward to like the moment I was attacking him. Let's disable my vision. So yeah, he only saw that. He actually saw that I didn't take the extract. I mean the refinery. Yeah, but look at the production. Okay, first of all, he's pressured, so he's not making anything. So that's a problem in itself already. Okay, he made more drones after. Let's see when he started his lair as well. Okay, so his lair was actually at normal timing. So I'm wondering what happened there, because his mutas were pretty late, right? So this is still obviously very good versus 2 Hedge, because like forcing early Sunken is already big damage, because it means they won't be able to make Hatch before mutas, third Hatch, I mean, on the map or in main. 2.5 Hatch is also pretty um, expensive. Yeah, so he's on 17 drones. Saving larva already? Okay, no. Yeah, that was too early. Okay, so he actually didn't save the larva, I guess. He didn't save enough larva, right? Yeah. Okay, so I guess that was a mistake on his part, right? Because you should be saving from 300 HP on the Spire. You can... Because every 100 HP on the Spire is 1 larva. So from 300 you need to start saving them to be able to make 6 mutas. But I guess he felt like he doesn't have enough economy. So he decided to just sacrifice the muta timing. or economy, which is probably a good idea, but I still think his third base should be quicker in this case, because he has well, pretty healthy drone amount. But in normal game it wouldn't look like that, but because if he wanted to preserve the muta timing, he wouldn't be able to make this many drones. Okay, so basically this is how it looked like from his perspective. Yeah, definitely he could already have the third touch, but we were looking for it, so it would be like more standard game because of that. But already my situation is super good because look, like he's on 22 drones, I'm on almost 40 SCVs, and my factor is going up already. He has no other tech, so this is very good for Terran. Yeah, so the opening situation was pretty good for me. Okay, let's jump to another game. Okay, so this is the second game. I played Atrax in this game, and as always, I'm gonna follow it up with 111, which is like 11 gas, but it's 10, but it's kind of 11 because like purposely I queue up this STV because if you make this gas too early, you won't be able to make factory anyway. Your minerals won't allow for that. And after the depot, you scout with two STVs. So that's normal. And now, before I know where he is, I gather my marine kind of in front of the ranks, but I saw his drone, so I wanted to hide my marine. But yeah, then I saw his overlord on the minimap and decided that I will just go. And his drone came from like weird angle because it was going straight up and then suddenly it appeared on the left side of this big ramp, so I don't know what he did exactly. Yeah, and now I saw that he cancelled the hatchery in the nut. So I was like, what is this? I don't know what happened there. Or he never made it? I'm not sure. Let's see. No, he had the hatchery and look, and he he, he just cancelled his hatchery. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know if he wanted to defend like that, but I don't think so because in the moment he actually put wanted to put it down again. Yeah, so that was obviously like a big mistake on his part, and at this moment the game is practically over. It's just a matter of execution from me to not lose this game because the game is won. I just have to not lose it. So what I did actually, I didn't even bother attacking because now I considered my advantage huge anyway because he cancelled this hatchery. So I just went back home and protected the ram because I knew that he's gonna produce a lot of links, right? Because uh, he doesn't have the creep right now versus Atrax in his nut, so he cannot place down the sunken. So of course he has to do everything he can to stop my attack. That is not coming, by the way, but he doesn't know that. So he has to produce a lot of links. And of course, when he realized that I'm not gonna attack, he will send everything to me. Yeah. So I'm expecting those links. I see them. And yeah, I'm gonna check what he's playing and protect my ramp in the meantime. I make one more marine because I feel so ahead that I can do that actually. And I'm gonna make a vulture, another supply, and my port is on the way, right? I had those two STVs on the ramp. Probably not needed to, but why not? Now when he scouted me and saw those STVs on the ramp, and now I have the vulture, then I can just put them back to mining because they are not needed there anymore. I didn't know whether he's gonna make a sunken, so I just sent those marines as well because you never know. If he doesn't make a sunken, they will be super useful there. I actually managed to get this drone as well. Or for one sunken shot, that's pretty worth in my opinion. And now there is one thing I have to be careful about, and of course this is Maslings. Maslings very well known counter to 111, so you have to be really careful versus that because before you get your vulture speed, you really don't have great options versus links. Because vultures are fine, but without speed they still can get caught by the links. I should have one unit in front of his base, by the way. It should be Vulture. I don't know why I didn't actually put it. Hydra then is correct response to that because he knew that his there is and Spire is not gonna be on time. Now I see the super late Spire, so I'm completely comfortable that I can do whatever I want, pretty much. I regretted that I didn't make this super really sci-fi in this game right now because yeah I should make sci-fi right now. The drop is good, but I should make sci-fi already because I want Vessel, of course. Because if his Spire is late, then Vessels are just much better than Wraiths or Valkyries to defend. They are more universal. I sent some units to cover for this raid killing Overlord, but he didn't try to save it, so I didn't have to use them. But I think what I did in this game was actually I dropped Marines and Vultures to his main, and the outcome will be pretty funny actually. You will see. Yeah, so we're dropping 2 Vultures and 4 Marines. And I figure like since Marines have pretty good DPS versus buildings, then I will just try to kill the Spire, because why not? Maybe I can do that. And in the meantime, Vultures can try to kill some drones. I wanted to kill the Hydra first because it's actually very useful to kill the... I mean, very easy and useful to kill the Hydra first, and then... But he had links as well, so... Yeah, but anyway, I got the Spire with those 4 Marines, so now I'm like... I know that I'm winning, and I can make those turrets on time as well, because he just spawned, so the turrets will be like at the latest possible moment. Yeah, and also like he's attacked this vulture on the way, so it gave me a little bit more time as well. It's very good to put down the bunker always, because at some point Zerg will make a um, overlord speed. Often they do that, and even without it, they can sometimes send overlords on the path to Terran, and then if you don't have um, bunker, you can just die to any kind of all-in, like Link, Hydra, Lurker, even whatever. But Zerg in this situation should be very desperate for a lean. So you should know that like right now his only way is to all-in you. So you have to survive. And surviving is usually just making vessels and tanks, and nothing can kill you if you have enough turrets as well. So like there, right? He just killed the mines in front of his base with links. So I want to control this area with my vultures. So I would like to kill the few links that can defuse the mines. So he's sending those overlords, and I need to. Also, I know that he had the Hydra then, right? So at any point he can just mass Hydras or Lurkers, because he also has Lair. So I have to be ready for that. So this one mine is crucial for me right now, because basically as long as this mine lives, I know that he's not attacking me. Links like that are always super good to kill. Like denying vision like that is very valuable. And now it's like standard 1-1-1 stuff. I'm increasing my barracks count, going for academy. So basically I'm transitioning to bio from this point while making vessels first of all, and then tanks if gas allows. I don't remember if I got irradiated. Yeah, I don't have irradiated in this game. I thought I have it. This was like the big mistake I remember, that I forgot to make it. Usually that's very bad. If he was muta-aligning me, I would die because of that probably. Because those turrets would not be enough. Also, one lesson I learned is that when you have tanks in 1-1-1, you should rather keep them in your main, not in your nut. Because if he comes with lurkers, the tanks will be already trapped in your nut, and he might kill them. But if tanks will be in your main, usually you are safe. By the way, Tom did pretty cool play there, where he got my vessels. Yeah, so he got all 3, I think. Yeah, so that's very painful. And this is because, I mean, I had 2 ways of saving them. Because, of course, first of all, I could cast Defense Matrix on each other. And then I could have Irradiate, which would kill maybe the Scourgers faster or something. But, yeah, it was tragic that I didn't have Irradiate. I didn't have the gas as well. I don't know. I did something wrong in this game. I'm not sure exactly what. But because I'm short on this gas a lot. I think I scanned something. Wait. Yeah, so I scanned those lurkers, and that's very, very important because now I know that he's like, this is a lot of units for his situation, right? He was behind, so we know that he has to all in. So I just made more bunkers. This is very, very obvious that he's gonna all in at this point. All in or attack, whatever, you name it, but it's gonna be some form of aggression. So that's why I made more bunkers. That's very, very important. You have to recognize that when you're playing 1-1-1. Those SCVs are there just to be a little bit annoying. My plan was to actually, when he was about to attack, I wanted to make an eBay here to shrink the entrance a little bit, but I don't think I succeeded. Ah yeah, because like for some reason he just flew there and hit the SCVs. Or maybe I did? I don't remember actually. This was played some time ago. Yeah, he's attacking right now. So I don't see this on minimap and I didn't build this building, but that's fine. I only steamed this further bunker because if I unloaded from this bunker right now and wanted to steam, then if lurkers were synchronized well enough, he would kill my marines and then I could lose. So I'm not unloading from those front bunkers. I could technically do that if I was fast enough with my reaction. If I saw this on minimap fast enough, then you can unload from every bunker and steam everything at once. Yeah, and now it's just a matter of accumulating army. I will skip a little bit forward because there is not much after that. Because I just gathered all my army. I made steam range. I think I have +1 on the way already done. And I'm pushing with this tank vessel composition. So how you do that is you gain as much ground as you can, you siege, and then you move singular tanks to the front. So basically, because he gave me all this ground from my base, he never fought me at the middle or something. I could get this superior position, and now I can pretty much never unsiege, and he's in the situation where he always have to attack into me being sieged. Yeah, I didn't need to unsiege those two tanks. It could be a mistake actually in this position because sometimes Zerg might have enough, and if you attack you in the right moment, you may lose. Because this one tank was enough to hit his mineral line even, so I didn't need to move anything. And usually, when you move in with your marines, this is also the moment he will move at you because he will try to hit. So notice how my marines were here. When I move my marines into his net, now this flank is open, so usually Zerg will attack with everything, two naked tanks, and then you have to react fast enough and protect those tanks from his army. He didn't do exactly that in this game, but very often this is how it looks like. Yeah, and that's game over obviously, right? I mean, he doesn't leave for a moment yet, but the game was completely over after that. So I just sent another group to 6 o'clock. I guess he didn't leave because he had those guardians on the way, but they didn't matter anymore. My money is crazy high. I was about to add more production. Okay, and that's GG. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Mm, if you are a STU player, especially when you're playing in SCUL, then if you would like me to cover your replays in such format, such analysis, even if you're not Terran, I can also analyze some Zerg and Protoss games, then just DM me on Discord and we will see what we can do. Because so far I don't have many requests, but if it happened that I have a lot, then I will have to choose obviously, but for now I have only one request I think, which I will do, but later. And yeah, so if you would like something like that, let me know. And yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching, see you next time, bye bye.